All right, so I want to talk about one of the less sexy things about aviation, but something that is hugely important in my opinion, and that is headphones. Now, I wanted to talk about headphones because this is really your connection to the outside world as a pilot, right? This is all of your communication right here. This is how you hear other pilots, the ATC, weather information. This is how you communicate out to them. So this is a huge piece of technology that we need in the aircraft. So I want to talk a little bit about my experiences, some of the headsets that I've worked with, and what I'm looking forward to in the future. Now, of course, everything that I'm saying in this video is just my opinion and my opinion alone, right? This isn't sponsored by anybody. Everything that you'll see in this video was bought on my own. And of course, you're gonna have your own opinions as well. So please share your opinions down below. I want to know what you guys think of these headphones that I'm talking about. Now, this pair of headphones is actually my training pair from when I was a student pilot, right? These are some cheap headphones. You can get them off of Amazon. I want to say they're around like $100, maybe $150 at most. So relatively cheap compared to the headphones that are out there. These are by Rugged Air, and they're super comfortable headphones. They have this nice padded material here. But they're very simple, you can tell, right? They're pretty rigid, you know? There's nothing really fancy about them. They don't have active noise reduction or what's called ANR. They're just a simple pair of headphones to get you through basic flight training. These I actually had a really good experience with because they also have some really cool capabilities. Mainly the fact that there's this little auxiliary port here, and if you have a TRS cable that allows you to connect a cable, pretty much an aux cable, out to a camera like a GoPro or a 360 camera or something like that. So I actually use this in my flight training, and if you go back and look at some of my early videos, you'll hear that I am actually recording my audio, and that's not with any special cable other than a standard TRS or auxiliary cable. So I think this was a really awesome pair of headphones, but there were a few drawbacks with it. So some of the drawbacks was, while these are like nice and cushiony, they're not the most comfortable headphones, right? Like, you wouldn't wear these on a very long flight. The clamping force, or like how much force they put around your head, they can get pretty tight, and that will give you a headache over time, that's for sure. Additionally, it's not always the easiest to hear out of them. You can turn up the volume on here, but in certain aircraft, the cabin is very loud, so you would get a lot of that bleeding in. And it can be very hard to hear what other pilots are saying over air traffic control and whatnot. Now, the comms, the mic seemed pretty crisp, I think. It's hard for me to tell, but I'd have to go back and look at the old videos. But the mic was pretty decent, especially for a $100 pair of headphones. Now, after flight training, I decided that, just like everybody else, I want to upgrade my headphones. Some people do it during their flight training. I was waiting to actually passed my check ride, and I kind of did that as a gift to myself, right? So after I went with these Rugged Air headphones, I went to my next set. Let me grab that. If you're enjoying the video so far, please leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And if you drop a comment, it helps me to understand what type of content you would like to see in the future. There we go. And we got into some of my favorite headphones ever to fly with. And these are the David Clark. I think these are called the H10s, either H10 or H13. I can't remember the exact number. I have to look at that. Oh, it says up top. This is, that's why I got confused. It is the H10-13.4. So these were really awesome headphones. Some of the differences you can see between them. The cups are a different type of material. This is a much more like gel-like material, and it feels really good on the ears. And then you can see this very big padded part that goes on top of the head. So one, I really enjoyed going to these headphones because they were much more comfortable. The clamping force wasn't as tight around my ears. They give a nice, good suction around the ears. So it does kind of block out. It's kind of like a noise canceling, but passive, right? So there's no electronics in here that is actively listening to my surroundings and bringing down the noise, but it has a great suction around the ear, so that works really well for me. Again, the padded top, very comfortable. So it feels really good. It doesn't really pull in my hair too much, and even with glasses, as you can see, it works really well for me. The mic is very flexible, it stays in place, feels really good, and the mic is very crisp on these. This is a great pair of headphones that I got after getting my check ride done. Additionally, on this headset, you can see that it does have the volume knob. I think most headsets will have that. But one downside compared to the cheapo headphones that I had before is there's no auxiliary port on here, so I can't just do a direct line out to my camera or something like that. Now, one other thing that I would like to highlight here is the look of these headphones. They just look so clean. The green is just a very classic look. Everybody knows a David Clark headset when you see it. It just looks beautiful, and this is kind of like vintage aviation headphones in my opinion, and they look amazing to me. I love the bright silver chrome type of band going around it, the nice like soft material along the head here. It's just a very clean looking headset. I know looks don't really matter when it comes to headphones, but in my opinion, these are some of the best looking headphones out there. Now, recently, I've been flying a different type of aircraft. I've been flying a Citabria, and maybe it's the type of aircraft that I'm in, or maybe it's the specific aircraft that I'm in, but that is a very loud cabin. And it got to the point where these headphones, they're great in some of the airplanes that I fly, like the 172s or the Pipers, but in the Citabria, the engine noise was just too loud, and it was very hard for me to hear. And at the end of the day, these headphones, they are a safety device, right? This is safety equipment. You need to be able to hear the ATC, the pilots around you, the weather, all of that. You need to be able to communicate properly. And so having the right pair of headphones is critical for your aviation. That got me into researching another pair of headphones. So you might have seen the posts on Instagram, and I was asking friends like, hey, what headphones are out there that you recommend? What do you think I should get? Results were pretty clear of what people are biased towards, but of course it was just for fun. I wanted to see what people are thinking, and I was still doing my own research on what set of headphones would be right for me. So if I flip through my handy dandy field notes, I wrote down what I considered when looking at headphones. So the first thing that I knew was I wanted a good pair of ANR headphones, or active noise reduction headphones, right? So this is the noise canceling technology that you see in a lot of earbuds nowadays, but also in headphones. So that was the biggest consideration. I just knew that I needed to be able to hear everything clearly in the cockpit, regardless of what type of aircraft that I was flying. So ANR quality was my #1 point. Number two, I don't want to keep buying headphones, so I want something that's going to last a long time. I need longevity. So as part of that, I want something that is very comfortable to wear. I want to be able to go on longer flights. I want to be able to not have to take off my headphones and feel like I have a headache or something like that. I just want something that is comfortable to fly with and something that's going to last me a long time. The next thing was I want something that's reliable, right? So I want some headphones that don't have a short battery life. I want it to last a decent amount of time, whether that's a rechargeable battery or if I need to throw some AA batteries in there, something that I can rely on, something that's not going to stop working after like 10 hours immediately. For most of the headphones that I was looking at, I also considered the cost. Headphones, they're crazy expensive, right? So I think the David Clark headset, I'll put it in an Amazon link down below, but I want to say they're around like maybe $400, $500. So I knew I was gonna be paying a pretty penny for a nice pair of ANR headset. So what were the headphones that I was looking at? Well, I was looking at the big three contenders, right? So I know that I'm already happy with David Clark, so I did consider looking at the David Clark ANR headset. I also looked at the Bose A20s or A30s. I know the A30s came out at Sun & Fun last year, so I looked at the Bose A30s. And then I also considered the Lightspeed Delta Zulu. There are a lot of pros and cons to each of the headsets. They all have really great technologies in them, so it was kind of a hard decision to make, but it did come down to a few final things before I made my decision. Now, after making a lot of considerations, I did decide to go with the Bose headphones, right? So this is the Bose A30, the new headset that came out at Sun & Fun. But it was a very close competition between the Bose and the Lightspeeds. Now, I'm very excited to be using these Bose headsets. This is my first pair of A&R headphones. As you can see, it comes with this little case. It came with the batteries. It comes with an auxiliary cable in here. And I mean, there's plenty of reviews online about the Bose and what makes them so great. But let me tell you about the considerations I made when deciding to get this pair of headphones. Now, what I talked about earlier was the comfort of it, right? So everywhere I looked, reviews were saying that these headphones were super comfortable. And I did try out a pair of my friend's headphones, and they are. I tried out the Bose A20s, but I heard that the A30s are even more comfortable, and I think those reviews were correct, right? You have the two pads on top, very soft, and then you have this nice little foam material down here, and you put these on, if you put them on the right way. And there's not a ton of clamping force here, right? I still feel like a good suction. Now, I did hear some complaints about using certain eyepieces. Now, I haven't run into that with these headphones, but some people were complaining that they didn't clamp perfectly around the eyeglasses that they were wearing. But it's very comfortable for me. Got this nice flexible mic, and it does stay in place. I was a little bit worried. I did see a few reviews with the early headsets that the mic was moving around way too much, but this one does feel like it stays in place pretty well. Additionally, I'm really excited about this controller. It has 3 levels of active noise reduction. It has a low, medium, and high setting. So it's really cool that this headset allows you to choose how much noise canceling there is. It's not just a on and off type of situation. And that means I can change it based on the cockpit that I'm in, but that also means that I can bring down the noise cancellation if I want to, say, listen to the engine, right? When you fly with an aircraft quite a bit, you recognize the engine sounds, and you're listening for certain audio cues. So I think it's important that the headset allows you to do that if needed. There is also a tap-through technology. I don't think I'll be using that as much in my headset. Essentially, it allows you to tap this, tap twice, and then you can hear out of that ear, and then tap again, and it goes back to active noise reduction. Additionally, I can control volume per ear in this headset. That is not something that I am used to with my other headphones, but it's something I'm really excited for. Now, there's a lot of pros to these headphones, but there's also some really cool items that I saw on the Lightspeed that I would love to see incorporated in some Bose products. The first thing being the cable, right? So this is a rubber cable, just like most other headsets out there. But the issue with those rubber cables is they can get tangled kind of quickly, depending on how much you do, but there is some like give back on these cables, right? So it's not as flexible as what's on the Lightspeed Deltas, which is a braided cable, which I think is insane. It's a Kevlar reinforced braided cable, I believe. Something that's very interesting, and I think more headphones should incorporate that type of cable. Additionally, the Lightspeeds have something called a carbon monoxide detector, and that is very important. That is another piece of safety equipment, and I think that's one of the differentiators that Lightspeed is using for their headphones to set them apart from the crowd. But the headphones will give you an alert, and there's also an app that allows you to set EQ, or the equalizer for the headphones, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, I think there's a lot of cool technologies in the Lightspeed, but I eventually went with the Bose headphones because of a few reasons. One, it's a very reputable company. I have used Bose headphones probably since college, and I've always been impressed with the noise canceling technology. They always seem to do it better than all of the rest of the competition. Back in college, I used to use the Bose QC20 earbuds. They were some of my favorites. In my pocket, I have the Bose earbuds as well. That's something that I use pretty much every day, and I am just happy with Bose technology in general. Additionally, Bose has amazing customer support. It's something that I'm able to rely on when I accidentally break some headphones, but they're very responsive, and I've seen stories about how people have had items replaced on their headphones, and Bose has been very helpful with that. And good customer support is critical. We've all dealt with really bad customer support before. Not saying that Lightspeed or that David Clark has that, but I just am very impressed with Bose customer support. Lastly, I think it's hard to deny the fact that Bose is the industry standard for active noise reduction headphones, right? Every headphone that comes out is typically compared to the Bose A20s, which set the standards for a decade, or now the Bose A30s, right? So I think that's a testament to the reliability and the value that the Bose A30s bring to the table. So that is why I did go with the Bose A30s for my headphones. At the end of the day, I want to wear a pair of headphones that makes me the safest pilot I can be. And having active noise reduction, very critical to the operations of the aircraft. Communication is so important, and I want to make sure that I'm able to hear everything that I need to as being the pilot in command. So there you have it, my lineup of headphones and the progression of technology, right? So from the Rugged Air to the David Clark H10 13.4s, and now to the Bose A30s. Super excited to be using these headphones, and I'd really like to see what you guys are using as well. I heard this sign off from another YouTube channel, and I absolutely love it, so I'm gonna use it here. So until the next video, stay safe, stay proficient, and I'll see you in the sky.